Basement action. Dick Van Dyke.
Richard.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. You want to give me do a quick checker outer?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get started here momentarily. Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode of the WCAC Spectacular. We're about to hit record on this show.
That's the YouTube advertisement.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Subscribe.
Oh, I noticed that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
we're part of the partner
Why are there ads
program.
now?
We're good?
You can skip them. Okay,
good.
cool.
You skip it after 5 seconds.
You out checker outered me.
If you listen, if you actually watch the ad, no, don't watch the ad. I skip every ad. If you give me the option to skip an ad, I skip an ad. But if you watch it, I think
It's
we
a
get
really
like
good trailer or something.
we get a 3/7
see
of a
an
penny
ad,
more.
I skip
Do
an
we really?
ad.
Maybe like 2/7 of a penny, but it's substantial.
Excellent.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Please, First Amendment Sports on YouTube. Give it a subscription. It's free. It helps us out. You'll get notifications when we're doing not just these basement Tuesday night shindigs, but also live broadcasts, high school games, WCAC, and other live events. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo, joined by Matt the Real Deal Seal.
Gentlemen, what's up?
Good to see you, sir. Tim Strachan.
You know, the weather's changing just a little bit. You can kind of feel it. It's starting to feel like springtime. Let's get into
Is that your springtime
let's get
sweater?
into some spring sports. Are you going to really bust on my clothing right
I
off
mean,
the bat?
I'm freezing, and I wish I had a sweater on right now.
Well, it is kind of chilly at
Yeah, it
night,
is.
but,
It's 30 degrees.
But still, it's going to be in like the 70s
Yeah,
this
it's gonna
weekend.
be great.
Are you kidding me?
He's Kevin Ricca.
I truly appreciate the sleeves on that sweater.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sweater.
I was just lobbing it up.
He forced me to throw out every single one of my sweater vests. They're gone. They're all gone.
It had a
'cause
lot
of
to
Kevin
do with.
Ricca.
It had a lot to do with Kevin Ricca. It also had a lot to do with Ken's tennis. Let's just say we're all in a better place right now, and let's move forward.
Yeah.
And let's get into this, man.
We're not doing it tennis for the whole.
Oh, I
for the
thought we were
show?
Tennis
doing
preview?
a sweater vest.
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
That's the
whatever.
next
Sorry,
show.
sorry.
Oh,
Next show. It's on Wednesdays. Come back for the McNamara Tennis podcast. In the meantime, this is the WCAC Spectacular. We cover the greatest high school sports conference in the land. Shout out to Steve Colantoni, commissioner of the WCAC. Hung out at Ramparts last night. Had an awesome meeting. Nice time catching up, talking about the spring season, which we are in the midst of. Found out some good history. You know, Steve has some T.C. Williams roots. I believe he went there. I believe he was coached, taught, and was the athletic director there. He still holds a little sway in that town. When he said, let's go there, I'd never been there, never been to that part of town.
Did you get the memo about the dinner? Because I didn't. Get
Well,
it.
it was
I'd like
just
to go
a-
to Ramparts.
But
I know I have a baby at home.
You're
but
too
No,
hungry. You're too
trust me.
hungry, and you have a small child at home.
I am hungry.
Yeah.
Have you seen how big I've gotten? It's amazing.
I feel like
Dude,
I'm
the
looking
camera,
into
it's
a
a
mirror.
bad camera angle.
Look, buddy, I need 3 sweaters right now.
Anyway, fun time with Steve. Great catching up. And we just want to thank him because he looks out for us.
Yes, he
and-
has, and that's
Absolutely.
you know what?
Yep.
I think we're all on the same page.
Yep.
It's not about the adults. It's about these kids.
It is. It's about the kids and the
these
teachers
kids.
and coaches. I mean,
Oh, of course.
Yeah, everybody
The
inside those
network-
buildings.
The
Yep.
network that blossoms around these young men and women that learn the things that we learned when we were in this amazing conference, and all we're trying to do is put a little spotlight on it.
Yep.
And do what those folks before us did for us.
That's right, and do it in the modern way. So,
Yeah.
I just
The old school modern way.
speaking of that, you know, we talk about Gonzaga and how much Gonzaga loves us because we, you know, I'm thinking, well, yeah,
Why?
we
'Cause
just
they just keep winning every championship
yeah,
we cover.
because we show up to broadcast their championships live on a regular basis. Good for you guys.
Absolutely.
But then I think to myself, like, that's great. And I've said it before, and I won't belabor it. But our memories of great high school games are memories. They're in our head.
Yeah.
You know, and we talk about them, and
There's
they're
some
great
16
stories.
millimeter film out there.
Sure, there is.
Yeah.
There is.
There is.
And we Bill McGregor will load it up for us
will.
in the near future. But that's the coolest thing about what we're doing is we have actually covered games already in our short partnership with the conference that are those same level of games that people will be talking about forever, and now they can go to the videotape. And it's selfishly, whether they listen to our voices or not, they're watching something we believe in, and we're going to continue to do it. I want to make an announcement. I believe the dates are May 6th, 7th, and 8th. No, 7th, 8th, and 9th, I believe, for the lacrosse playoffs and final. I believe that's at Ludwig Field at University of Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Yep. We will be there. The baseball finals are the Nationals Youth Academy. Now, I don't know how we're going to figure how to do that, but we're working on it. You know, if we can make it happen, we will. It's the best 2 out of 3 finals in the WCAC for baseball. And for our first year, we'll try to do as much as we can. But with the cool thing, part of what we talked to Steve about last night is growing in our partnership with the WCAC and being able to do more. And with that, I also, ahead of all of our baseball and lacrosse news, want to make that announcement. I think we've mentioned it before. We got a 10-game, at least 10 game. We're committing to 10 games in WCAC football next year, inclusive of at least one playoff game and the finals. So 8 regular season games across, I believe, a 12-week period.
I think it's, well, the playoff, yes.
11,
yes,
12.
The playoffs will be the extra 2. It will be
Yep.
a 12-week span, and we can't wait to get on
excited
it.
about all
We
this.
can't wait to get on everyone's campus. And show the world why we're the best conference in the nation individually. And we really appreciate the people that have been working with us to get us to this point. We're, like we said, we're not out here for anything else but for these young kids, for these educators, these coaches, these volunteers. And everyone's treated us like such gold, man. We're in such a good position.
We're going to get
It's been so
around.
much fun. I mean, the Brad Ripitos of the world,
Yes.
the people that just make sure we get fed when we show up. You know, they're just such good quality people here.
Shout out to Brad.
Yeah, it's so much fun. All of it is amazing. The relationships have been amazing. Steve Colantoni, thank you, sir.
Yep.
That was a great thing that happened last night, Ken.
It is.
Just make sure you CC me and Rick on the next
Yeah,
email
for-
for the dinner meeting.
Yeah,
Well,
for the dinner meeting.
I'm trying to diet a little bit. You know,
Hey,
sitting
wait,
there trying to do a
dinner-
little-
Leslie
you know what I mean?
said no
One
dinner
dinner-
meetings.
One dinner a year? Are you kidding me? I can handle that.
We're going. I told him. I
Oh, you
said,
guys still eat dinner?
let
Oh,
me know.
man.
We're gonna go somewhere. He lives out. I think in Manassas somewhere. We undisclosed location, obviously, for the commissioner. We don't want to divulge such specifics.
Yeah, come on. He's
But
the
we
commish.
will we'll trickle out some schedule release announcements. But I do know right now, as of this moment, we have St. John's, DeMatha, and Gonzaga locked in to our schedule with regard to games that we'll be covering because Gonzaga and DeMatha will both play at St. John's. We're going to be there. St. John's is hosting one of the top programs in the country in IMG. We're going to be there. And
We hope that finally comes to fruition.
That's
it's
true.
now that we're involved, it's going to come to
And
fruition.
listen, yes, not that we can control the weather, but one thing we can control is what we can't control is thanking Brian Griffin.
Oh,
for putting us
gosh.
in that position, and we can't wait to see what happens over Good Counsel. I know Pat Bates, after a long, ridiculous career as Mr. Everything
Yep.
at Good Counsel. I mean, he had every job that you can possibly. A guy that Good Counsel alums revere, a guy that WCAC alums should revere. He has been the AD there for many, many moons, and he stepped down recently.
Yes, he
We're
did.
going to get them on board. We know we got Tony Johnson and Marco Clark on board.
Rob
Hey,
Harris over at Carroll.
we're all on the same page here, guys. This is what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't wait to put your youngsters, your nephews, your nieces, your sons and daughters in the position that we can do in this digital media age with our digital media company.
That's right. We and we've made a commitment to not be, just delivering football and basketball. We love football and basketball, and that's why we're gonna try to get our feet wet in lacrosse and baseball. Maybe a little tennis and golf. If we can figure out how to do that, we will. We gave you soccer and field hockey in the fall. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to cover swimming just quite yet. Maybe we'll. I was kind of thinking maybe a baby pool out in the back with like a doggy paddle
board.
race between Rika and
go.
Seal.
I've got a
we can-
swimsuit. I've just been dying.
Just make sure I bring my
Try on.
floaties with me. Okay.
You'll be wearing some floaties.
Okay.
You'll
It's
be
a
wearing some
onesie.
floaties.
It's a onesie. It's scarlet and gray.
Yes.
That's all I'm revealing.
No more
I'm
spoilers.
just like old school. Where like
Thank you.
like
Thank you.
the horse. You jumped off on the horse's back and got into the pool like the old 1800s carnival act. I don't know. We'll see what we got.
Is Ken's microphone still on?
Is
I know,
Is that
right?
working?
Everything was going.
Water
Hello,
polo. There's water
hello.
polo too.
We got water polo, hockey.
Yeah.
We're definitely doing ice
Hockey,
hockey next year.
Without a
And
doubt.
we've already talked to the folks about doing that. So we're going to be in a bunch of places, and we just want to say thank you to the WCAC for having us. And thank you anyone who's out there covering the conference, and we know there's other people doing it. We thank them for doing it too. We thank them for a variety of reasons.
Sure.
First and foremost, thank you for helping us get the word out. In some cases, thanks for making us look awesome. In some cases, thanks for making us look terrible. But we appreciate the fact that people care as much as we do. To Kevin's point, it's about the kids and the coaches and the teachers, and if you watch, it's easy for that to be the truth.
Alum.
That's right.
We love it.
Yep,
That's why we
that's
do it.
Let's talk tonight a little bit about baseball, a little bit about lacrosse. But let's start off with baseball. Matt the Real Deal Seal has been around the Diamonds.
Diamonds?
Yeah.
We're in full swing.
Yeah. All right. So hit us with some knowledge.
Somebody
Bada
got
boom.
it full
Yeah,
swing.
there
Take
you
us
go.
out to the ball game.
Who should I
homie.
lead off with? Let's talk about McNamara.
Let's talk about McNamara.
You shared a note with us about McNamara last week. We had a no-hitter
No.
That's right.
tossed in the first conference game of the
Little
year
no.
by Mr. Joe Quelch
Quelch.
versus St. Mary's Riken. It was the league opener for both squads
Still the only no-hitter in the league?
that we know of.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to keep track of that.
McNamara's opened up with 3 straight conference wins. They beat Riken, Paul VI, and O'Connell. So
There's
that's
a-
to start off
that's a
3-0 in
great
the conference
start.
for the
It
Mustangs,
is.
no
It
doubt
is.
about it.
McNamara has always been good at baseball. We've always had good baseball players. I think McNamara's baseball team is kind of indicative of the WCAC that we remember, and that is we have some good baseball guys, but it's
Grinders.
your male athletes. It's your boys who are playing multiple sports. And it gets in the springtime. They're playing baseball. We have some really, really good athletes on that baseball team. And other WCAC teams do it the same way. But the McNamara baseball program has traditionally been stocked with, when I was there, a boys' school with your good springtime athletes playing baseball.
Yep.
Let me tell you this real quick. When we went to do the St. John's McNamara girls game, that was a standing room only, and there was a line outside. While we were watching everyone lined up outside and getting the gear from Ken's car, who was on the field out there in February in the freezing cold? There was 20 guys on McNamara's baseball team. There was a little pitcher-catcher situation. I'm telling you, it was freezing. I couldn't wait to get back inside. They're out there working on their craft. And you know what? Hard work pays off, and it was
That's
evident.
right. That's right.
Yep.
And they always had. I always felt like I don't know if it's the colors, but the unis were always pretty sweet.
Yeah, they got
Oh,
nice
They
unis.
still are.
Maroon and gold.
McNamara baseball has always had the.
Well,
the
it
sweet
kind of hits
unis.
us all close to home.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of, sorry, Real Deal. All the WCAC fans out there, June 20th, I think we can announce this. I was talking to Steve. We're going to promote it the best we can. The Washington Nationals are hosting the WCAC. It's a high school WCAC night. We're going to be the first ones. WCAC is going to be all over the place. I wish I could tell you the link off the top of my head. It won't be too hard to find, and your schools
We got time. We
should
got
be getting
time.
out there. We'll figure it out to get to you. But the
Go to
coolest
your
thing
Google
is,
machine.
you buy a ticket online or you order your ticket. You tell them what school you went to. They send you a Washington Nationals hat in your school's colors. So you get the curly W.
Get outta here.
A hat with your school's colors and your
A
school
scarlet and
logo.
gray curly W I
Yeah.
can have?
Maroon and gold.
Yes,
Maroon and
please.
gold.
DeMatha is already
Come on,
red,
Seal.
white, and blue.
Give me a
so-
little bit of that.
Give it up.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Nice.
I mean,
Like
so
it
I'm
looks so
I'm
different.
pretty excited about that. You know, I can't wait to be wearing that hat on this
Awesome.
show. Yeah. So June 20th, come on out. The league does benefit from the ticket sales, and more than that, it's and Steve put it best when he said, you know, this is the conference acting as a conference. You know, so every event that we can mix it up with people and alumni and alumnae from all the different schools in the WCAC. Come on, it's Latin, dog. That's when the conference
That's Antico.
acts like a conference. That's our goal in life. That's part of what First Amendment Sports' role is in this whole journey, and that is it's not about any individual school. It's about one individual conference.
The community.
June 20th, can we just show DC what the WCAC is all about? It's bleacher section. Fill it up. Let's make it
Let's
happen.
do it.
I
Good
want to push
segue,
this.
by the way.
Well, we're still talking about
Excellent.
baseball,
I know,
but you got me
no,
the colors and the
uniform
whole thing.
That was excellent. We didn't even plan that out.
Well, a pre-production meeting, we didn't even have time to get to that part of it. Let's go. What do you got?
Let's move down I Street. Gonzaga Eagles welcoming a new coach in this year, Chad Carroll. playing all their home games down at the Nats Academy, so they'll be well seasoned in playing down there come playoff time. We're relying on some players: Jack Quimby, Garrett Newsom, Noah Potham, and Christian FICA, who might be a familiar name to you guys from the basketball floor.
There you go.
Yeah.
He is their starting catcher and a power hitter. So
Dual
keep your
sport
eye on
athlete.
that guy. Keep your eye on him.
You know we love that.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Look at they're traveling out to the Heights this week. Then they'll play Ireton and DeMatha at home down at Nats Academy. So if you're interested in some Gonzaga baseball, give
That
them
was
a
always
look.
the best position to play if you weren't going to be a catcher or a shortstop. To me, was catcher. You can touch the ball in every play. It's like Kevin's career as a
It's
center.
like when
the
he
game's
was a
running
center.
through you.
Hold on. I
every
was a
s-
catcher from day one in Little League Baseball. My ADD didn't allow me to play anything else.
You had to.
because I loved it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're in every
And
single play.
The tools of ignorance can only be worn by those that were allowed, or else you got moved. The guys that remain catchers, sorry, you're just not a catcher, bro.
No.
I love my catchers.
It's a
Grip that
fine
fist
art.
in the back, and you know what? It stinks this time of year at practice when it's 46 degrees and you're in the gear, and every foul ball that comes off a bat for batting practice
extra
hits you.
sting
Right?
for you.
Yeah, but you know what? Come 90 degrees, there's no better place to be.
Yes, indeed.
I love playing catcher. Go ahead, Matty.
Let's look at O'Connell and Ireton. The weather has not been kind here in the spring
Yeah.
here in D.C. Both teams have had some cancellations. O'Connell lost to McNamara. Ireton lost to St. John's. Those are their only two conference games so far. Both teams will host Riken coming up. Paul VI will travel to Ireton as well in the next couple
Is there a
days.
time limit on? Is there a time limit on WCAC baseball games?
I don't
Do they
believe
play a
so.
time limit? And the reason why I ask because I think about the kid at Riken. We talk about them being the Hawaii of the WCAC and the way they have to drive. Imagine getting in your car or the team bus at the end of a school day, huffing it up 80 miles to play good counsel, and playing however many innings it takes.
You can play if you don't have lights, you can play up till 7:30.
They have lights. They're playing somewhere with lights.
These guys play baseball. They're not worried about 80 miles.
I know.
They're worried about
And then they got to
90
go
feet.
back.
Yes.
I know, but I'm just saying. That's,
Every 90 feet matters,
And
and
if
you
it's
know
still
what?
tied, you got to
I
come
think
back the
I
next
think
day.
he's directing that towards the parents, and shout
It's
out
the
to the
parents,
parents.
man.
Does anybody have
Shout out
lights?
to the parents.
Oh yeah.
O'Connell
Yeah.
does, right?
I think most of the schools play with fields that have lights.
Okay.
Sorry, Manny.
Paul VI, they took a trip down to South Carolina. 2 of their 3 games got rained out, so they only got 1 in down there.
I wonder what.
Lost to
Do you think they still had
McNamara.
fun?
Oh, absolutely. Come on.
Let's make it sure.
Spring break trip to South.
Monopoly.
Oh, yeah.
Go Parcheesi.
Order a pizza at night, watch a movie with the boys. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We won't talk about Cocoa Beach, Florida. Good counsel. Coach Tim Park, 2004 alum. He's got a couple guys coming back for his squad there. They are going down to Florida this week. St. Mary's Riken, as I mentioned before, they started off the loss to your Mustangs over there. They've got some conference matchups coming up this week. O'Connell and the Heights. Speaking of brand new.
They are new.
entrant into
Yeah.
the league.
What do they got going on so
Now,
far?
I don't have too much on the Heights because
Okay.
John Fritz is going to have his guys ready. They have a beautiful new stadium that just
Yes, that's
opened
true.
up. So let's
Nice.
talk.
The
let's
facility
slip
is
that in.
awesome. I think that's where
It's
the
gorgeous.
First Amendment Sports Memorial Baseball game should be played each
Yeah,
year.
there you go. Well, they've got Gonzaga
we'll
coming
figure
out
it
there
out.
this
Why
week.
not?
We just
Wait, First Amendment Sports needs a memorial tournament?
Why
Like,
not?
we're
This
done?
is our
I
season
thought we were
two.
just getting
Just getting
you
started.
have to
around these
remember the
parts.
first year somehow. I mean,
You just love Memorial Stadium. I'm with you.
yeah. Hey, by the way, does John Marshall play for the Gonzaga baseball team?
Do not believe he does.
All right, just
I'm not sure if
figure out
is
what he
a,
plays.
if he's a spring
he
athlete
does,
He's
or
playing
not.
something.
If he
deserves
does,
to have
he's
a
going to
spring
need a
off.
security guard.
I'm just. Wait, we're bringing him on the mics if Gonzaga if Casey O'Neill takes any team or to the finals.
The marshals are putting pictures of Ken up around the neighborhood right now, saying,
They're like,
"If you
beware
see
this
this
man."
gentleman."
Shout out to Terry Marshall. Go ahead, Maddie.
St. John's Cadets. Let's talk about the defending champs, the five-time defending champs. Coach
Give
Mark
me 5.
Gibbs, 1996 alum of the school. He graduated 3 guys last year, but that doesn't mean a thing to him because they are stacked and packed. as
James
usual.
Wood.
James Wood getting some time out there. Going to rely on Ian Ramali at pitching, Alex Warren and his speed, and Kyrus Dawson, who had a couple hits today. I saw they opened up there down at the IMG Classic.
Yeah,
in
down in
Bradenton,
Bradenton,
Florida.
Saw a nice picture of Griff down there.
Griffin, our former coach, basketball coach Sean McAloon. Shout out
Just
to
straight
both of
Speedo,
those
You know
or-
what else I saw? No,
The Griff Speedo?
No,
not Griff Speedo?
No.
We're not picturing Griffin and Speedo right now?
No.
Okay.
Speedo's
might be.
the wrong brand for down there at IMG
That's
with
true.
the St.
That's
John's coach.
Right.
If it's a very snug-fitting bathing suit, it's going to say have a UA on it. You got to protect this house. St. John's has 38 kids playing baseball right now at the Division I level.
Jeez.
Got a
How
list
many?
of
Say that again.
30.
30. Wow.
8.
the Virginia
You didn't let me
Commonwealth,
finish the 8.
LaSalle, Ole Miss, Elon, Washington, Lee, William and Mary. They're all over the map.
Yeah.
And I know that they have other prospects, but James Wood, a sophomore, he is considered
Outfielder.
He's probably the top prospect as far as
his class.
I mean, he's a sophomore, but he's projected to be a top
By
prospect.
Kevin Gibbs
Kevin
to
Gibbs.
us in the
That's
live.
true. Yeah,
So let's not let's convey
That's
our
true.
source.
Hey, when Kevin talks to me in the
When the
lobby
best baseball player-
over a hot dog,
When the best baseball player in the history of St. John's tells you that someone else is going to be the best player
That's
in
right.
the
This
history
kid
of
is the
St.
best
John's,
baseball prospect.
there's
that
4
he's ever
ears
seen.
and no mouths flapping.
Yeah,
Ken
so-
and I were all ears. Yeah.
footnote with the the right what do you call it when you annotate and say something is from something?
Citation.
The citation to Kevin Gibbs all day long.
And salutation.
But and salutation, and now I'm going to say it from
Cheers,
here on
my
out.
man.
Yes. Thank you. Well, hey, Kevin Gibbs is coming to the basement.
Let's do
He
it.
promised me.
Mark
He's a
will
Southern
as
Maryland
well.
boy, just
That's
like
right.
myself.
Get both those Gibbs boys in here.
That's
Let's
true,
round
both
it
Gibbs
out.
boys.
Round it out with the DeMatha Stags. Coach Sean O'Connor, class of 1994.
Another
That's my
94.
brother right there.
1994.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Took
Best
over.
year, vintage.
Took over 2008 for Charlie Sullivan, legendary coach there at
Oh, my
DeMatha. He was there
gosh,
for
yes.
24 years. Won over 500 games at 14 conference titles. I'd like to send a thank you to my colleague Kyle Evans for this information. He's a DeMatha alum as well.
Shout out to Tommy Ponton and Ed King and Matt Rifkin and all those guys
guys
doing a
over
great
there.
job
McGregor,
covering
Mike
their
Jones.
Mike Jones. Well, yeah,
Obviously.
Bill
coaching
McGregor.
staff.
I
Are you
had
done
to-
yet? Are you done yet?
Well, they would have just said. I know those two
because they
in
never get
particular
shout
would have
out.
been.
Definitely want the
Those
shout
guys
out.
have
Josh
never been
Wilson,
shouted out.
Totally forgot about
Adrian Dantley, whatever.
Hey, can I give a Morgan Wooten? Can I throw a Morgan?
Morgan
Wooten?
Wooten.
Mr. Wooten, of course, Mr. Wooten.
Sorry, sorry, coach.
Let's talk about some of their baseball players. Though.
James Brown.
Jack Bulger is a guy you're gonna want to keep an eye on this year. Catcher, pitcher. He's committed to Vanderbilt.
Is related to Mark, the former
Said
quarterback.
to be possibly the greatest DeMatha baseball player ever.
Whoa.
That might tell you something.
What year is he?
He is a senior.
Okay.
No, pardon me, junior. Pardon me. He's a tandem with junior Alex Green, a pitcher, outfielder committed to UVA. Both those guys were pretty dominant last year as sophomores.
Well, who does UVA think they are coming in and getting our best guys?
They're taking them.
Screw
Well,
the
they gave
UVA.
us Ryan Zimmerman, man.
That's true. All right, you get that one,
Maybe
UVA.
they can develop.
Maybe
these
those are the
guys and
players to be
give us
named
one more-
later.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
better to be named later. If I have to give up with the Matha guy, fine.
Let's give one
No
more
offense.
shout out to Jake Maskey. That might be a familiar name to some at the table. His father, Mark Maskey,
Yeah.
writes
Yeah,
for the Washington
the writer.
Post.
Yeah. He's
DeMatha,
also an alum.
1996. So they've got some guys playing big-time college baseball as well. UMBC, Towson, VCU, Catholic University, amongst others.
Hey, see you.
Awesome.
And they're playing without Thomas Keene this year. He's had some arm trouble, I believe. He's committed to play ball at Duke next year.
Well, a wise choice
Get yourself
by
healthy,
him
young man,
and get
and,
himself healthy. You're right
That's
about
right.
that.
Be prepared to play big-time college ball.
Yeah, man.
Maddie, thank you so much.
Indeed,
And
fellas.
so are you getting out to a game here, a game there, just to be able to?
Definitely, yeah. I was a little preoccupied this weekend, but I think most of the local teams kick it off this week, and some this weekend.
I
There should be
think-
some good games.
I think our entree into baseball isn't to broadcast a game, but it's to do a little something on the scene.
Couple of hits.
Yeah, just interview the coaches before a game. Maybe just take it in. Just hang out, watch the game. Maybe have a hot dog or two. I don't know.
Cracker Jacks.
I'm making it up as I go along.
I
you know?
like
Having a
multiple
Cracker
hot
Jacks in
dogs.
a
Yeah, multiple hot
yeah,
dogs.
It's
And
you
Cracker
can't just
Jack,
have one.
for sure. You can't just. Well, first of all, one hot dog is not going to do it for anybody.
Minimum two.
No one at this table, anyways. And Cracker Jacks. I'm not a cotton candy guy.
No.
I'm not a. I don't even do popcorn.
Yeah,
Cracker
well,
Jack,
I-
hot dog.
I'm with
wrong with
you.
popcorn?
I know. Stop. Here's the
Because
whole thing.
That's the whole.
Everything
that's
was
what
great.
They try
until
to
you-
throw it down your throat. The popcorn.
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
that's what I do. I throw it directly down my throat. Sometimes I throw a knuckler.
I mean,
sometimes
that's
I just
like- that's
sometimes
almost
I just cram in. It's a
anti-American.
grand
You don't
slam.
have a
To be against
popcorn
popcorn.
physique, though. What's going on here?
You don't get this physique without popcorn.
All
homie.
right, fair. I don't know, man. I just feel like if you ate,
No
you just hit
popcorn.
me hard on no popcorn.
Yeah, when it's springtime and you're driving to the ballpark and
I know.
It's over.
Hey,
Yeah.
I used to be the assistant general manager at Bowie Bay Sox for like 2 years. I didn't live a day without the smell of popcorn, and I loved every second
Maybe
of
that's
it.
the problem.
But I loved it. I love the smell of popcorn. If that could be my main smell all the time, but I just can't eat it the way people consume pop. I mean, I watch people consume popcorn. Some people come and they're literally they chug it like a Slurpee. I'm like, what's going on here?
This is your problem.
It is.
There's nothing more un-American and un-baseball than disdain for popcorn.
I love popcorn. I love it. Please, popcorn industry. I do not harangue me.
There goes our popcorn
Oh,
sponsor.
I'm
Jesus.
gonna work on this, guys. I'm seeing a therapist and I'm talking it through.
Orville Redenbacher is going to choke you out.
He was like Happy Gilmore style with
I
the
hope
little
so. Yeah.
okay, Bob Barker.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh,
Let's
man.
talk a little lacrosse. We talked a little bit of lacrosse with regard to the postseason, which we're excited about. We're still figuring out a way to show up to a regular season game somehow, some way. Again, first time we're doing this. We're committed to figuring it out, and that's what we're going to do. Look for us. But in the meantime, we're not going to stop talking about these players. It's a hotbed of lacrosse talent. The WCAC is as good as it gets. Kevin, we have one particular program we're going to showcase tonight.
Well, we're going to showcase a handful.
Let's showcase a handful.
This is like going to the movie theater and not getting popcorn and just getting all the other stuff.
I was at the movie. I watched Captain Marvel today. I got popcorn.
Let me work my way through this.
This was good.
Look, man. First and foremost, my family's on spring break over at the Woods Academy. We're off this week. Gonzaga took a little trip down to for the Jesuit Lacrosse Classic, which T said he's been to right here in Washington, D.C.
Right here in D.C. I was
I've
the
seen many-
keynote speaker at the breakfast when it was held at Gonzaga High School about 10 years ago.
Congrats for
something like
getting up that
They have
early on the
a
weekend. I
omelet station.
appreciate that in you.
Waffles.
that. Spoke about God and everything. It was
I like
Pancakes.
that.
a wonderful experience.
Exactly. No, but here's the deal, man.
Good food.
It was good.
All right.
A 3-day tournament, a 3-game tournament. Gonzaga took it down in, I don't know, Miami, Florida. That'd be
Yeah.
a nice place to go visit this time of year.
How does
As it turns
First
out.
Amendment Sports get involved in these trips to Florida that the baseball teams and lacrosse teams
These are the
taking? I
questions
think-
that we have to
yeah,
write
I
down
mean,
and have answered.
This is
stat.
true. Yeah.
I agree.
Next for the next dinner.
Couldn't
Steve.
have said it better myself.
I-95 runs all the way down to Florida. Last time I
It's
checked.
it's like 2 turns from
Yeah,
here.
it's
Well,
like
there's a
2
way.
turns. We just get on 95 and you just stay on it.
Head south.
Yeah, well,
That's in our future, T.
Hey, congrats to Gonzaga going down there and representing the area. 21-1 over Canisius, beat Fordham Prep 12-1, and took Dallas Jesuit down 10-7 in the finals. Had to be a great trip for those young men.
The margin of winning right there was amazing.
Yeah, well, we give work from this area. It's what we do in all sports, and certainly in lacrosse right now.
You know what would be great, Kevin?
Yes,
When
Kev.
we're on the road and we stop in South Carolina to cover a game. Who was in South Carolina? That we just talked about which
Paul
team?
the Sixth.
Paul the Sixth was in South Carolina. We just keep on going down. Probably catch DeMatha or Ireton or somebody hanging
Around
out
the
in
Myrtle Beach area
Yeah,
or
around the Myrtle Beach
something.
area, and then just keep on heading down to
There's a Cal
Florida.
Ripken complex
It's like the
down
old
in
Sports
Myrtle Beach.
Illustrated. We like draw a peach, and then like the dot
And
to
we
the
just
peach,
keep
and we
going.
hit Atlanta, then we go down, yeah.
They're like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, hey,
First
we're
Amendment bus.
the First Amendment bus. Exactly. Sorry, Kevin. I didn't mean to.
No, it's like
interrupt
I was with the Indiana Jones thing, like the
Yes.
the flight, the map,
Dun, dun,
the whole
dun,
thing. I'm in on it.
dun.
X marks
We're
the
going to need a
spot.
sponsor for that.
No ticket.
And you can
I'll
come
work
along
on that
as
one.
well. Paul VI and St. Mary's Riken coming out of the gates at 5-0 before league play. Now, league play has just gotten underway. The team I'm going to get to has taken a huge lead in the league. Now, there's 2 teams that haven't played a league game yet as far as this afternoon. DeMatha has gotten out to a 3-0 start in league play.
Wow.
And that is
Strong.
a huge, huge start for Scott Morrison
Absolutely.
and his squad. They've come out of the gates. They took down O'Connell 13-9. They've got Ireton 8-7, and they are now in the midst of a 5-2 trip, a 5-2 record with the trip heading down to Florida as well.
See, we can just hang out in Florida
Listen,
and just wait
what
for
are we
DeMatha to
doing
get
wrong?
there.
But I know what the icon's
I know,
going to
right?
be because this tournament that DeMatha's playing in is in Cape Canaveral. They're going down there. They've had a nice preseason, but they can't wait to launch themselves into league play.
All right, there you go.
Nom, 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 nom. Listen,
There
though,
you
it's super fun, and look what they got going on here, man. It's hard to just announce one guy. They got Matt Taylor playing a solid goal. All I've heard about is Harold Peters on defense. Harold Peters. He's making every play on defense.
Long stick?
The guy's a super stud. No, just an average
Okay,
stick.
okay, okay, okay.
He's
Yeah,
not-
okay,
he's not
okay.
the long stick midi. He's their prime
Yep,
defender. He's a super stud. and he's been dominating. When you follow them on Twitter and you read about them all over the area, his name is prevalent as one of the best defenders in the area. You got your Aiden Tolan, Ricky Glockler, Evan Ostrowski, and Jake Kane. All 4 of those gentlemen in 7 games have had a hat trick. They have they've scored 45 goals amongst them. That offense is clicking, and shout out to Scott Morrison. When you have 4 offensive weapons like that, and each one of them has had a hat trick, 3 of them have had 2 hat tricks in their 7 games.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
They can't all go cold in one day.
That's team ball, and someone's getting hot. And by matchup, whoever you're playing against, you can see that these guys are taking a step back or a step forward based on what coach says.
Yeah, and what's cool about all of this, all these teams, Gonzaga winning their tournament and everything like that, lacrosse is no different than any other sport. When you have momentum and you've kind of got that rhythm, all these guys are going to be entering league play with that.
Yep.
It's going to be fun to see how it shakes out once it really gets to the meat of the season.
And remember this, 6 weeks from now when we're talking about the postseason, shout out to O'Connell as well, but O'Connell got up on DeMatha 5-0. They were winning 7-1. The final was 13-9. This DeMatha team turned it around. That's one of the bigger turnarounds in the early part of spring sports in the area between 2 teams that can play. You're down 7-1 to someone, and you beat them 13-9. Hey, nothing against O'Connell. It's just how it goes in this area. You're up against it. Hey, they were good enough to be up 7-1 on a team that has 4 prolific scorers like that. That just shows me that both these teams are capable when it comes down to 6 weeks from now, when it's a whole new ball game. They would have forgotten about this game by then on both sides, but that's a nice little tool for DeMatha to put into their belt heading into the rest of this season.
Heading into the rest of the season, which we're going to get to a very exciting April and really get to the postseason right away in the first week of May. Just so we're clear, I believe the backstop rain date is May 13th, but the 9th I do think is a Thursday, and I think that's your WCAC final. You will see us there, come rain or shine. It's different for us because we committed to doing football, and we understand football is outside. You know, you just think, oh, okay, you're going to be outside. It's football. If it's cold, you're going to be cold. If it's rainy, you're going to be wet. If it's windy, you're going to be blown around. I don't know.
So far, you're 3 for 3 on
Thank
weather.
you.
You got that.
Basketball inside, not so much. Back to lacrosse. You know, our guys.
You're hot. You're hot.
Hey, listen. I mean, I know whether
If there's a tsunami, we're screwed.
If there's exactly. But we do have the best high school lacrosse production crew in the business. They've been doing it for 5-6 years.
That's a fact.
And I'm excited about our ability to pull it off in a way that'll be entertaining to folks checking us out. So check us out. I'm going to get us out tonight because we're going to charge this camera. We're going to come back to you in about 5 or 10 minutes, probably closer to 5, on a quick Redskin show on the Audible. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you don't do it back to back, we understand. Subscribe to First Amendment Sports. Let us know. Shout out to the girls softball programs in the WCAC. I promise you, we're gonna
girls lacrosse and the
girls
WCAC.
lacrosse.
Listen,
we're gonna bring it
week by week, show by show.
I'm gonna selfishly throw a shout out to Coach Pomano and the Mustang girls. They've had an amazing start in the conference play. They're not the only ones, and we're gonna give you some more than just that. But we got our eyes on all things WCAC.
Hey,
appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Jacob Angelis did not score 17 goals in one game. He's going to get there. I know we talked about this last week. He didn't get there in one game. I know that we thought there might be a chance.
There might be a chance.
And you know what? With that guy, he's one of the top-ranked guys in the nation.
Yep.
Let's keep an eye on him. Fun to watch, but I just wanted to let you know it hasn't happened just yet.
Just yet.
Yes.
Until next Tuesday night, he's Matt the Real Deal
Spring
Seal.
is sprung, boys. Let's get ready for some great stuff here.
All right, well, tell that to the patio because I could see my breath when I just went outside about 5 minutes ago.
Just wait till the end of the week.
All right, wait till the end of the week.
That's right.
He's Tim Strachan.
So we're going to work on getting trips to Florida.
We're just going to be on the road.
Dinners.
Dinners.
Okay, so
yeah.
I got all my notes. Appreciate
Dinners,
it.
trips
Thanks
to
very
Florida
much,
and South
everybody, for
Carolina.
joining.
Three
joining
hots
with
in
us
the
tonight.
cot. Let's
There
do
you
it.
go.
Kevin Ricka.
Hey, I can't wait to watch all this unfold. I can't wait for the weather to get better by the end of the week. I'm going to hold you to that. Hey, to all the athletes out there, stay healthy, have fun on the road trips. Hey, behave.
Yes.
What's in front of your future is way more important than tomorrow or the next hour. Just, you know what? Watch that movie on your phone, listen to some music.
Hang out with your teammates.
And until next week, Be a good sport.
Be a good sport. Hang out with your teammates. Enjoy the ride. And to all the folks like us who've ridden the ride,
Catchphrase.
enjoy, seeing the next generation, ride the ride. So we appreciate you guys. Until next Tuesday night, I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was
The WCAC Spectacular, Ken. We got your back, buddy.
I got you. Still live, everybody. Still alive.
Gormley. Gentlemen. You were spoken of.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
And well thought of.
Hey, pretty good, right?
Awesome. Love it.
Ken?
Yeah.